Finally, after more than 200 failed attempts to declare lynching a federal crime, the Senate succeeded in taking long overdue action by passing the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act. Hallelujah. Congress has finally declared lynching a federal crime, as it should have done more than a century ago. That it took so long is a permanent, bitter stain on American history.
The Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act calls for 30 years in prison and fines for anyone conspiring to commit an act of lynching that causes death or injury. Michael Curry, thanks for staying with us. We heard Senator Schumer offer his comments on it. While the legislation does give the law teeth, we already have laws against hate crimes on the books now. So why is this federal anti-lynching law so significant?
Yeah, one, I mean, again, credit to the many people, individuals, and organizations that have been trying to pass a federal anti-lynching bill for years, right? Mm-hmm. We know the NAACP in our early beginnings as an organization was really campaigning against the lynchings that were happening across this country. We know that we did not have the political presence to push this bill across the finish line. I think about Hiram Revel, the first African-American in the U.S. Senate. I think about many others post-Reconstruction that we needed to have in that body to push this forward. Then I think about Kamala Harris, now Vice President Harris, and Tim Scott, a Republican, and Cory Booker, who really have pushed this over the finish line. So credit to them. We need a federal law. We know that states can apply law differently. We know that there are state laws on the books around hate crimes. But this campaign has been long overdue. The arc of justice is long, but the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. That's what happened here. Mm-hmm. It took 100 years
Unbelievable.
To convince two bodies of government that this was necessary, and they parsed out what was a hate crime, what was a lynching, and did it require the brutality that we saw in Emmett Till's case, mm-hmm. or were there lesser examples of violence towards people that were qualified as lynching? We sorted through all of that. Mm-hmm. And now we're here, we have a bill. I think it is a credit to those leaders, Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, and Tim Scott for pushing this over the finish line.
Now, the Equal Justice Institute issued a report a few years back that found that more than 4,400 documented racial terror lynchings of Black Americans took place between 1877 and 1950. Is having the law in the books now more symbolic or a deterrent, because these kinds of crimes are not happening at the same rate as they were at one time?
Well, we know there's an increase in hate crimes, right? Mm-hmm. I want to lift up the name of James Byrd, right, who is in our lifetime in Texas, and the brutal murdering of that man. I want to lift up the fact that in the last several years, we've seen hate come from under the sheets, mm-hmm. And take root across this country, and maybe have a presence that they weren't allowed to have previous to that. This is the time for federal law. This is the time to hold people accountable, to have a deterrent, which is what the law is, to crime and to this kind of heinous hate crime. So I think it is the right time. I think we are now more vigilant than ever to hold people accountable, and the federal government being in lockstep with states, hopefully, will make that happen.
Some have called, however, the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, have likened it to a lynching. To your point, a lot of hate crimes, murders based on hate have been happening, yet and still. Yeah,
I always talk about the number of lynchings since Reconstruction. And I talk about the fact that most folks have never heard of Red Summer in 1919, mm-hmm. and the mass lynching and murder and massacre of Black communities across this country, way before Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street that more people know about these days. And there have been incidents throughout our history. The other part about this federal law is it's requiring us to untap that history, to unlock that history and have a true account of what's happened in this country leading up to cases like George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. This is not new. Folks have had full authority, in many cases under the law, mm-hmm. to take the lives of Black folks and get away with it. And we're fortunate in the Ahmaud Arbery case, those men are being held accountable. And my prayers go out to the many. I think about the George Zimmerman murder of Trayvon Martin, mm-hmm. and mm-hmm. the family. I think about Ahmaud Arbery's family, mm-hmm. and there's so many others that will celebrate this moment because they've been waiting for it.
It's called the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, but the Justice Department just closed the 1955 case in December. Till's family still fighting to have it reopened. What's the NAACP's view on the next steps?
Yeah, I think, we've been monitoring and been engaged in this case for many years. I think the reality is we know that the gentlemen, or the men in this case, admitted to murdering Emmett Till. We'll continue that fight to advocate, and I think this law just gives more momentum to that struggle. Hold people accountable, including those folks who really got away with murder over the course of this country's history. We need to do that with the same energy and vigilance that we do other crimes, and I think we're headed there.
All right, Michael Curry.